I saw a fantastic meme on the Book of Faces yesterday.
Okay.
Yes. Husband is sitting and the wife says, "I'm sick and tired of this pile of dirty clothes." And he says, "I have slain a Jedi." And she says, "I hate you." And he says, "Yes, use your hate." Isn't that wonderful?
That is awesome.
That's like me to a T.
I love it. That has absolutely nothing to do with what our show is about today. But
no, actually, this is kind of exciting because we have a video ask.
Yes, we do.
We've been asking folks to go to WYEradio.com and click on that little button, the microphone button on the side. And our listener, Adam, I'm going to slay his last name
here. You really are.
Heuslein?
Heuslein?
You are hereby Adam Hughes.
Line.
Because that happened to my family at Ellis Island, so why can't I do it?
Let's just say he's Canadian.
Adam sent in a video to me on the Book of Faces, and he said, "What do you think about this for area familiarization?" And I watched it, and I said, "Wow, that's horrible."
Hang on a second.
But then I wanted you to watch it.
You just rattled off familiarization really well. That's
familiarization.
That's not fine. Nobody likes a braggart, man.
Hey, I do what I can. So what we're going to do is, if you're listening to the show, you can go over to the YouTube channel.
Yep.
And watch the full video, because this is a very interesting video that we're going to watch. It's out of Anchorage, Alaska from February of 2013, and it did end in a shooting.
It did.
Yes.
Well, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Man, come on.
I'm sorry. The video we're about to watch ends in them calling off the chase and then hugs and kisses. Yeah.
Hashtag real life.
Yeah. It's the newer, gentler police department. But Adam sent this along talking about area familiarization, and those of you listening to the audio on the show are going to cringe when you hear this.
Yeah, you don't even... To be fair, you don't have to watch it to just be like, ugh.
But watching it, we are watching it from the dash camera of another officer who is trying to join the pursuit.
Yes.
Or catch up with him and set out some spike strips or whatever.
Here's the context. According to what we read on the Book of Faces, bad guy stole a car, and that's why they're chasing him.
Yep.
Right? And worse things happen down the line, which, again, spoiler alert, bang, bang, good guys win. But that's the context. And what you're going to hear is initially, it sounds like a female officer is in pursuit of this.
She found the truck.
Yeah, she found the
stolen truck, and that's where we start.
Yep. So if you want to watch it in real time as we are kind of critiquing this and talking about some things that come up while you watch the video, just go to youtube.com/c/the Motorcop Mindset, and that'll be my channel. Or you can just go to our show notes for this ask, and we'll put the link in later.
Yep.
And we'll have a link directly to the video. So
yes.
There you go.
So we're going to follow along. Imagine yourself going along, and you hear over the radio that somebody found that stolen truck we've been looking for.
Yep.
And they're going to start calling out their location, and you're going to try to find them.
There you go.
All right.
I got a green F-150 on 88 at Lake Otis. I'm turning around. I can't really see big flames on it, but occupied twice. White guy, yep. He's making an illegal southbound or northbound turn on Lake Otis. I didn't light him up yet.
I'm already going to stop it.
Yeah.
So a couple of things. Since we've already watched the video, we know what happens. But she describes it as a green F-150, and if you go over to the YouTube and you see the still frame there, that looks like a green F-150.
Yeah.
Something about big flames. You know, it's the Ford on the tailgate. The
logo on the back.
Yeah, they're big flames. Describe that better. If you know it, and I'm not saying the female officer. She says she can't see big flames. That means different things to different people.
Is
my
that truck's
a decal?
Got big flames.
Yeah, is
on
it a
it?
decal on the side of the pickup, or is it a small silver emblem on the back of the truck?
See, my first thought, listening to the PD channel, is there a truck on fire? I see no flames on it.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, absolutely. So just something to keep in mind. All right, here we go.
What's cross?
What's the cross? Where are you?
Yeah.
88 in Lake Otis.
All right, sounded confident.
All right, that's an intersection.
It is an intersection.
There's at least 4 different directions you could go from there. And here we go. The dash cam picks up for those of you.
I didn't light him up yet, but he's moving quick. Still going southbound.
All right, so
we have a direction.
She's not lit him up, which means she's not activated her lights or her siren.
That's affirmed.
So he's
northbound.
Okay, here's where it gets interesting. This is the frustrating part. It's gonna get worse, just so you guys are aware.
Yeah.
Initially, she says southbound on whatever street.
Southbound from the intersection.
Yes.
Yes.
And then she says, "No, I'm sorry. That now we're northbound." Okay, maybe dude made a U-turn.
Could be.
I would suggest if that happens, vehicle just made a U-turn. Now we're going the other direction. That didn't. It sounds to me like this officer doesn't know which direction is which.
It could be, and if I recall, Anchorage is a lot like Albuquerque, that there's mountains in one direction. So if you can spot the mountains and you know that orientation, but at the same time, MC, we've talked a lot about on this show that tunnel vision. When you're driving lights and sirens.
Absolutely.
Now here's an officer. We don't know how many years she's got on her experience, any of that.
Yeah, this could be a trainee. It could be her first day. Who knows?
I can imagine that tunnel vision is starting to get narrower and narrower.
Or it could be the lieutenant.
It could be.
She could be. I haven't left the office in 6 months.
She could be fresh off the motor.
Oh.
All right, so we've got two conflicting directions. It still could be either one. Jump back in.
Negative, northbound.
Are you sure?
Now he's going eastbound. Looks like could be Lure. Standby.
Could be.
Could be. Now, I'm not familiar with the roads in
I'm
here.
sorry, I got my directions mixed up. He's going west. Going west on.
Wow.
Looks like standby.
Looks like standby.
Past,
Standby Boulevard or standby
west
lane?
on Lure.
Yep. If we go past Gwenny's all-time restaurant, I'll know where we
trying
are.
to cut him off.
So other officers are trying to find her.
Absolutely. That's what you try to do. If you're not one immediately involved in a pursuit, you have to figure out where they are so you can jump in and help if need be. You know, there's lots of things to consider here.
And not just go there, but try to anticipate getting ahead of them, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or prevent other traffic from getting involved in the way.
I can't. I'm too far behind him. Standby.
Because if I make the left, because you said south, and now you're saying north, now I got to turn around.
Yeah, let's.
Nothing to the frontage road, Karen. I'm on the highway.
So here we are. We have one officer saying, "I'm where you say you are."
Yeah.
And I can't find you.
And you're not here.
Yeah. Are you on the frontage road?
Yeah. So something to really keep in mind is not only know your directions, which is really important. Don't go from he's north here, he's east here, he's whatever. Stick with that instead of saying something which happens later in the video, which we may or may not get to. He's now made a right-hand turn on first. Okay, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Right hand. It could. Which direction is that? Right? From where to? Stick with one thing.
Yeah, stick with one thing. And one of the other things I found when I'm trying to give the wife directions, because I don't usually call out pursuits
That's strange.
at the firehouse.
You
I know
don't?
it's weird. But I'll ask her, okay, where are you? I don't know. Well, just read the road signs to me. Okay, I'm passing 5th Street. Great. Now I'm passing 4th. Okay, now I know which direction you're going.
Yes. Yeah.
Is this something that maybe she could help out with, I'm north, I'm south, I'm passing Maine. Now we're passing Oak. And everybody else with their area familiarization
is going to know what direction that is.
Okay, I know what direction you are. And shoot, I know I can take Davis Street down to Oak right here.
That's not the best way to do it, but
True.
it's certainly better than what's happening right now.
If you're lost, that might be something you want to try to do.
Definitely. Or if you're unfulfamiliar with an area.
Yeah.
I've lost him. Standby.
She lost him.
There he is in front of me again. Hartsville,
That
and
quick.
I'm on a line
He's in
up.
front of
How
me
many?
again.
Well, come on. How many pickup trucks are there in Anchorage? According to the dash cam, a lot. Yeah. Also, kudos to Anchorage drivers for having no idea what to do when lights are up behind you.
Now, to be fair, we don't know what the laws are in Anchorage, but the lower 48 lights come on, pull to the right. People are just willy-nilly. And the dash cam we're watching, right at the top of the screen, you'll notice this is LTS. That means he's got his emergency lights activated.
He's still northbound on Meadow. He's decided what he wants to do here. Just made a right-hand turn next cross street.
So this is what I'm talking about.
So right-hand turn next cross street.
That does not help me in the least.
Right-hand turn on 72nd. It's a green over gray F-150.
Green over gray. You mean green over dirty snow?
It could be. One of the other things I want to point out as we're listening to this, and the folks listening on the radio don't see it, but it looks like Anchorage got some snow the night before. And there's a lot of snow on the road, and there's a whole lot of snow on the banks. Well, this is dangerous conditions.
Absolutely. The thing about what we're looking at right at this particular moment, it looks like the roads have been plowed, but later in the video, when it gets into some neighborhoods, it looks less plowed.
Yep.
So, again, something really to be aware of is your weather conditions and the traffic on it. If I'm the supervisor at this point, and again, all we know is it's a stolen vehicle, right? If this goes too much further, given the conditions, at the end of the day, this is a property crime.
Yeah.
It ain't my truck. You know what I'm saying? Are we going to risk public safety to basically catch an auto theft.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you are, maybe you're not.
That decision is made later on in the video. We'll see if we get to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if I'm hearing this kind of radio traffic, I'm leaning. All right,
Everybody back off.
everybody, we've got the plate. We'll find it later.
We're kind of in the area-ish.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out.
Yeah.
But seriously, people, know where you are.
Yeah.
All right, carry on. Here we go.
I got him. He went northbound on side street.
Northbound on side street.
On the side, what side street? That's not helpful to me in the least.
So here we go. The guy we're watching just suddenly
right
exits
here,
the freeway.
Burlwood?
Is it-
He's northbound right there, Kevin. Make a right.
I know that side street.
He's northbound Burlwood. He's getting ready. He's going back, making a right-hand turn, 1 street north of Oakwood. Make it to the cross here.
All right, at least I know that a right-hand turn from northbound is going to be eastbound.
All right, and
Okay.
it's the street past Oakwood.
The
getting
right-hand
better.
turn on Oakwood. He's parallel in 68.
So we've got somebody else calling out locations now.
Yeah, and I'm very happy about that because the female officer was not doing a good job.
Yeah.
And then the next male officer,
Not doing a good job.
either. But it sounds like this is a completely different officer. And
Yeah.
67, we got
he's worked here before.
We can assume, we can hope so.
Okay, I lost him here at Oakwood. I don't see anything south. He must have gone east or west on 68.
Yeah, it got worse.
Yeah.
he either went
I think he went
two different
eastbound on
directions.
You remember those
68.
old Bugs Bunny cartoons? They went that way. They went this way.
Okay, I'm cresting the hill here. I'll see if I can catch him.
I'm cresting the hill. See, there's the mountains for those of you watching the video at home.
Yep.
There's the mountains that are only in one direction.
Yeah, figure out
in Anchorage.
where that is.
X12 F68, Lake Otis.
Break, northbound 68 from Lake Otis.
These corners
You got
are
him there,
dangerous,
right in front of
man.
you.
Yeah, they are not going fast.
No,
Not at all, which is smart.
which is good
Yeah.
for these conditions. Yes.
Absolutely.
Now, the suspect might be going faster, and that's another one of the reasons you were just talking about for maybe calling this thing off.
Maybe.
Dude doesn't see flashing lights. Maybe he slows down.
Maybe.
Yeah.
More than likely, he would, because of the number of officers that we're
northbound,
assuming are around
13.
here.
Yeah.
He'd
Down
probably
lane,
just drive for a
slow down a
while
little bit.
and foot bail. Just dump the truck and go.
Yeah. So there we go. We're going to split the video right here because if we play the whole thing, it's going to turn into an hour-long show of us just
Nobody
ripping
wants
all
that.
sorts of stuff apart.
Nobody
Nobody
wants
wants an
that.
hour-long What's Your Emergency?
Oh, God.
But here we have, like you mentioned, MC, it's a property crime. One of our officers spotted the truck, maybe, doesn't see the flames. It could be it. I'm going to get behind him. I'm not entirely sure where we are. I'm going to light him up. I lit him up. I lost him. So many things are going on over this radio channel that I can only imagine. It was frustrating for me to listen to, and I only had a vague idea of what I was listening to.
It is frustrating, and I can only think of it again from a supervisor's point of view, is making sure that the people under your care know how to figure out where they are. If that takes some extra lineup training, hey, great, let's do that. However you would structure that kind of an experience, be it maybe you partner a couple people up, somebody who's struggling with that. There's nothing wrong with sitting with a more experienced officer and drive around town and just be like, hey, that's what I do with my trainees. What street are we on right now?
Yeah, you got to know.
What
You got
direction-
to know where you are and where you're going.
What direction are we going?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and I'll do that day one.
So what about calling out landmarks? We're passing the Burger King on 6th.
That's fine. I mean, it's not.
It's not ideal.
Like I said, it's not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not ideal. But okay, when you pass in the Burger King on whatever street you're on, is it on your left side or your right side?
Yeah, and now we're getting
that's gonna
even more
make-
confusing because now
right?
I have to picture myself on 6th.
Exactly.
Okay, the bank is on the right. The Burger King, is it on the left or the right? And it gets confusing. But when you get stuck, when you get flustered, it's okay to say, I don't know where I am. Stand by.
You can, but I will tell you if it happens a couple of times.
Yeah, don't get yourself into that position.
If that happens while my trainee is not only driving the vehicle and they're trying to be aware of where they are, I'm probably going to tell them, hey, just drive. I will call it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be safer for me because
Safer for everybody.
Well, mostly for me because
Yeah.
I'm a passenger and I can't control the vehicle, and that is the worst part of being an FTO. I'm a terrible passenger. So, I mean, I've literally yelled at people, and
that's like
it's
every
fantastic.
supervisor ever.
Yeah,
And every
so-
paramedic
totally.
being driven around in an ambulance
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, so you have to be aware of where you are. You also have to be aware of your pursuit policies. right? What direction, how many people, and if memory serves, and we'll get to the end here, initially the female officer said it was occupied times 2.
Yeah.
Which means a driver and a passenger. And at the end of the video,
we don't know where second dude went.
Yeah, if in fact there even was a second dude.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Which is the usual, we saw it all the time, and I'm sure you see it all the time. There's a motor vehicle collision, and there's a guy outside the car, and is, were you driving? No. Who was driving? I don't know. He left.
Yeah.
Well, how much time are we going to spend looking for this phantom driver?
How drunk are you, sir?
Yeah. Exactly. No, I was not driving in a car. So you definitely, going into this, the last report they had was there's 2 people in the truck.
True, yes.
So
and that's something to be aware of.
Everybody's going to this situation where the truck could slow down and one guy could jump out and foot bail, and they bring that up later in the video. I think another supervisor gets on the radio and like, hey, I'm listening from headquarters or wherever. If he foot bails, let me know, or if he gets stuck, let me know.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. So we've got the attention of the folks back at the home office. It sounds like.
Oh yeah, so people are paying attention
as we're coming up here. Yeah, and we're going to skip past the part where the officer sits in the intersection here, getting ready to throw the spike strips out. But the suspect eventually drives into a neighborhood.
Yep.
And for folks watching the video, I want you to pay careful attention to how the road conditions change as they go into this neighborhood. Go ahead.
And he just 1123'd me.
Yeah, those.
So he just said he 1123'd me.
So yeah, we don't know what an 1123 in Alaska is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna assume that's an assault of some kind, based on what we see after the fact.
Yep.
Like he, rammed the patrol car, is because nobody's out of the cars yet. Is a safe assumption. Again, based on what you'll see here in a second. So he assault on an officer is my guess.
And that's being described by the voice I'm describing as the home office. It's someone very cool and calm who's been giving directions, and we might have skipped over it, that talked about if you lose him, we're going to call this off.
We did skip over that.
Yeah, we did skip over that.
Yeah.
So there's a voice of calm that right when the officer just said he 1123'd me, we paused it just as he's saying, okay, that's felony assault on an officer.
That's coming up.
Yeah.
That's coming up. Let's
that's
jump
right
back.
here. Yeah.
Yep, let's jump back into it.
Officer, and is going northbound on Trina.
So felony assault on an officer.
Yep. We got multiple officers coming in now.
Flower through Aspen Road. Almost
Here's
hit
where it gets
another
interesting.
officer. There's 2 counts.
So there he is.
There's truck.
Yeah.
So they're trying to box him in, Johnny. Box him in. Nope.
So in dry conditions that might have worked, but no. And here's another thing: is watch how they run.
He's probably coming.
Oh, they got to be very
They got to be
icy.
real careful on the. Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh!
Shots fired.
Shots fired. All right, pause it right there for me, real quick. Now, you mentioned when we first watched this that there were some expletives that came out that would have been perfectly at home on our old show.
Oh, absolutely.
But the first thing you said was "good shoot."
Definitely. I don't. So I've got my notes here
if he barely slips on that ice, he's going to get run over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a thing that is prevalent, especially in police work today, is us creating our own exigency. Right. That's why if we go to a 5150, a mental health issue, and they're in their own home, nobody else's home, and they've said I'm not going to hurt myself. After they've said they're going to hurt themselves, if they're inside their home, are we going to kick the door? Or are we going to leave? These days, current thought is
leave.
Bye.
Yeah. If you're not hurting anybody else,
which is nuts to me.
Yep.
Pun intended. But if somebody is fleeing and I'm on the side of the road and I run into the road to hold them at gunpoint and stop them from continuing on.
I saw that on TJ Hooker all the time.
I just created my own problem, and now I am forcing my own hand by having to shoot at the car.
Yeah.
This doesn't occur in a vacuum. There are 1,000 different things you could throw at this, but this officer was coming around the vehicle and sees the truck backing up.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, expletive deleted, jumps out of the way to avoid getting hit.
At which point he's
already hit 2 cars that we've seen, plus one other one we didn't see.
And plus now he's backing up towards 3 officers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this isn't a good shoot. However, I would like to point out the officer, if you're watching this on the channel,
right.
all the way on the right, that dude needs a mic loop.
He does need a mic loop.
Yeah.
Yep.
A mic loop is a wonderful thing. It's secured to your body armor that keeps your microphone in place.
Yeah. So, and now if you imagine, we're going to play the video here in a little bit and just show you a little bit more. But let's say that the truck stops and the suspect gets out and runs, and this officer's alone. Now he's got to go fishing for his mic.
Yeah, now it's a problem.
And now it's a problem.
That's a big problem.
So get you a mic loop.
There you go.
And get you some more video. All right, so truck's pulling up.
So this is my last. Well, yeah, it's
right, so
just
it
rolling
stops.
backwards.
Yeah.
Here's my issue right here.
Oh, you mean that car just pulling in front of all the officers with their guns drawn?
So you've got 4 cops on foot walking towards a vehicle after they've just shot the guy, and here comes a patrol car pulling up in between the suspect vehicle and all the officers with their guns out. You just created a very big problem.
Now, absolutely. Now let me put this out, because anybody watching it might have thought, well, he's blocking the truck in. So
that's a school of thought. I'm not saying he's not.
Your thought process is there. However, suspect left, guns drawn right, me middle, bad.
Yeah. Now you've put yourself in a potentially life-threatening, even more situation.
Was there some kind of communication, like the window down? Hey, don't shoot! I'm coming in. We don't know. I doubt it.
Probably not. Is my guess.
I'm guessing, just based on the initial communication between these officers, that there's probably not that amount of coordinated communication later. But I'm just going to go.
Debriefs exist for a reason.
Exactly.
I'm sure they debriefed the ever-loving you-know-what out of this. Because wow.
Yeah, and this is not
good.
This is not something for everybody to say, Anchorage dumb.
Not at all.
This is something to say, hey, you know what, guys? Let's go drive the neighborhood. Let's make sure we know it, because these guys, maybe it ends different, maybe it doesn't. We don't know. It never will.
Yeah.
It's never going to change. The outcome is never going to be different than it is right now. But if you know your area, maybe we get that suspect sooner. Maybe he doesn't feel cornered. Maybe he doesn't try to do that thing. Maybe we don't create that circumstance, like you said.
Yeah.
Where
I'm not saying that's what they did in this situation.
No, not at all.
I'm just saying that is
something
a thing
you need to think about.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is what we are learning from this, and what we are trying to share with the greater WYE audience.
And again, circling back to Adam's question about area familiarization, I did it. Thank you very much.
Familiarization, yeah.
God. If this had gone differently, if the initial officer had been more familiar, they could have perhaps coordinated a better effort to create that. I can't think of the word.
Safe area?
No, perimeter. Hang on.
Yeah, safe area. Perimeter.
Maybe they can create that perimeter and deploy the spike strips a little more effectively. Who knows? Who knows?
And also something to think about, and it's mentioned on the video that we skipped over. Somebody was talking about the roads are clear. There's not a lot of people out right now.
Yeah,
so they were
because it's Alaska in February.
Yeah,
and it's like 3 degrees.
And the other thing is, let's say there is a better coordinated pursuit, and we're able to kind of corner him into a shopping center parking lot where there's people.
Yeah,
and he's driving crazy like this.
Well, let's think about the weather real quick. If you deploy spike strips and the roadway is icy as the day is long and there's heavier traffic, maybe you don't do that. I have absolutely no idea. I don't do spike strips.
And again,
I don't live in Alaska.
And again, it goes back to what you said. This is a property crime.
Yeah, it is.
All we know.
It was, and then he took it to another level.
If there's other circumstances that this person hurt someone, this person did other things, that's going to be a different level of involvement and interaction.
You're going to be a dog on a bone, and you're not going to let that thing out. Yeah. Like we had a couple weeks ago, we had a guy...
A hammer looking for nails.
So we've got amazing ALPR cameras, right? Automated license plate readers.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yes, we have. And we got a hit, and this dude was doing... like $120 on the freeway. And at one point, he actually slowed down.
Did you get the blue ties on him, or did you guys go after him?
And no, they were long. They were hell and gone. They were not around.
All right, got it.
My sergeant and me happened to be pulling behind the guy, and we're like, all right, so let's try and pull him over. So we do our lights, siren. I started calling it, and the guy moved over all the way to the right. I'm like, oh, what? Looks like he's yielding. And then boom, back over to the left. It was a Dodge Charger. All the way to the left, drops a hammer, gone. Cancel that last.
Yeah.
he's and our I won't say pursuit, because we never really got into it. It lasted 13 seconds. I mean, we were there, and then we're like, nope.
And then he went fast.
Bye. And that's all we had on it was this is just a stolen vehicle. And it was 11 in the morning. On a freeway, even if traffic is moderate, are we really going to put our lives and the lives of the public in jeopardy for, again, a property crime.
Yeah.
No.
He looks back, you're gone, he slows down.
Yeah, see ya.
Catch him later.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody like that, we're going to catch him eventually.
Yeah.
We just will.
You just got to know which direction you're going on the freeway.
Yeah, don't say eastbound on a freeway that goes north-south.
Yeah. That can be confusing.
Yes, indeed. So if you want to ask us a question, again, we talked about it at the top of the show, you can either reach us via email, either Justin or Jason at wyeradio.com.
Yep.
Hit us up, send us a video link if you want to have a video question, or go to our website, wyeradio.com. Click that little blue tab with the mic icon on it on the right-hand side. Get 90 seconds to ask us a question. It'll send it to us, and that's all you have to do.
That's
and
all
then
you got to do.
You could be featured on the show just like Adam.
Then you can sit back and listen to us talk about what it was, and you can
enjoy-
say, I disagree vehemently,
Yeah.
and then let us know.
There you go. And then maybe you can come back on the show.
Mm-hmm. Like multiple times.
There you go.
Yeah,
you,
it's
you
happened
could be
in the
our
past.
unofficial sidekick.
That'd be fun.
We really need a sidekick.
Actually, you know, what we need is somebody to come in here and call out the show as it's happening so we don't have to. You know, kind of like in a pursuit. Somebody else comes in and just handles all the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
And we just catch
we
bad
just
guys.
show up and, sit in our trailer with all of our green M&Ms because it's in the rider.
Mm-hmm. And that's how we know they did everything else.
Now we have to get a trailer.
Yeah.
The wife will be happy. All right, folks. Until next time, this is Motor Cop signing off from my good buddy Justin Shore, the Happy Medic here from MCPD Studios. Enjoy the rest of your week, your day, and we will catch you next week.
Car 54, where are you?